What's good, y'all? J Boogie in full effect mode. Bun down is the sound. You know how we do. This is, of course, the Lounge Presents podcast. We are live streaming on YouTube, which is what we're going to be doing going forward. We had to spend some time on Twitch, and that's all good and gravy. But we found that, to be honest, more people will jump on YouTube than they will on Twitch. So going forward, we're going to be live streaming on YouTube because YouTube is like for everybody in the world. It's just boom. Whereas some people look at Twitch like, oh, do I gotta log in and what do I gotta do to get on Twitch? And no. At least you say YouTube, folks. More time they're gonna know exactly what you're talking about. So that's what we're doing. We are live streaming on YouTube now. I just want to send a mighty shout out to everyone who's been tuning in. You know, the analytics have been tight. Reach engagements have been solid. You know what I'm saying? So definitely salute to everyone. We're not going to release any Spotify rap numbers or anything like that because Spotify is ass. But the numbers were good. Like, don't get me wrong. The numbers were dope. And typically every year we do drop the Wrapped, especially when there's like massive growth. And we saw a lot of growth over the last year. But things with Spotify are just so ass right now. It's really tough to openly, like, you know what I'm saying? I know we're broadcasting on Spotify and everything, but I mean, if you have a podcast and you're not on Spotify, TBH, you're not, you know, it's not going to go too well, kind of thing. So, but I do want to thank everyone because when I looked at those numbers, like, damn, okay.
That's scary.
Yo, okay. I am not mad at that. And you know what? When I see those numbers, it gives me really, it gives us a lot more reason to continue doing this because it shows that it's resonating. And the one thing that's come up, one of the major sticking points has been how people have appreciated how we're not doing things the way a lot of other podcasts are doing. And I mean, yeah, that's basically it. We're not, don't come here for tea. Don't come here for gossip. That's not what we do here. There's enough platforms that are doing it and they're doing it well. So go ahead and go to them for that type of stuff. But we've always been, since day one, about the culture. Since day one, we've been about the culture, all the elements of the culture, all of the participants in the culture. And it is for that specific reason why we ask someone like this group of people here that you see in front of you. We've got 5 individuals in frame right now representing none other than 393 Dance Troupe. Hey.
Oh, damn.
Now, just a little preamble about 393 Dance Troupe. So we have some association with Studio 393. We very much believe in the programming that they are able to provide for the community and the programming that has come out of, GAP. So nothing but mad support for 393. So when you see all the good work that has come from 393 and you see all of the artists that have come out of 393, obviously, because of most folks are familiar with me personally, and when it comes to hip hop dance, it shouldn't surprise anybody that 393 Dance Troupe would be in the lounge space because I mean, if you know what I'm saying. So it just made like so much sense to finally get you guys into the lounge space. Well, I've followed since around Jump, just kind of followed from afar and kind of watched your movements and, see what y'all about. Not that I felt like you needed to like be gay kept or anything like that. So don't get it twisted. But, I mean, look, we're going to be completely honest, right? We're straight up here in the lounge space. Whenever you see the word hip hop attached to anything, you know what I'm saying? You should, if I'm going to be completely honest, you should side eye it. You should, you know what I'm saying? Does it rep? You know what I mean? So yeah, obviously, when you see something that has got the name hip hop attached to it, and then you see, progression, and it becomes very obvious that this isn't a fly by night thing, then you know, okay, you know what? I think it's time. I think it's time to get them, on the podcast, learn more about their journey and the culture, and you know, give back a little bit more to 393, because as products of Studio 393, I mean, it's just apropos to get you up in this. So thank you very much for taking time out to spend with us this evening, live streaming right here on YouTube. Now I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves.
Can I go first?
Yes.
Oh man, see, this is what happens. Okay, just to preface. Okay, so my name's Dana, and I've been dancing, I think, with 393 Dance Troupe since, like, especially pre-COVID, like 2018, 19. I don't know. It's been a long time. I started out like in high school, so that's a long time.
Hey.
But it's funny because every time there's always speaking stuff, they always point to me. It's like
Okay.
always, this is a fun fact. So always every time there's like any like MC intros, any talking stuff, they're like, Dana, go. And that's just because I don't know, I just like to yap. I'm a
She's our
yapper.
speaker.
So but I'm gonna keep it short and sweet just because there's like 5 of us. But yeah, this is me.
Guess I'll go next. I'm JR. I've been introduced to this scene, I would say 2018, 2019. So when I was in high school still, I think that's when I met these two, and then along came Jonel and Jan. But yeah, that's when I was more introduced to more of the hip hop scene and the street scene. I was still a dancer. I was dancing hip hop in high school, dancing competitions, but that was more kind of like a studio hip hop more than street hip hop and freestyling. But yeah, that's pretty much me.
My name is Mickey. I started with 393 back in like 2015, 2016 through the After School Leaders Program. And then eventually I joined 393 Dance Troupe through it. And then I've been with them since. Yeah, go.
Hi, my name is Jan. I've been with 393 for officially, I think, like about 3 years-ish. But unofficially for like 4, because I was always kind of in and out, but like never really stepped in until this one dragged me in. So Mickey dragged me into it full stop and was like, "Hey, you should join us. Go, do it." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." And yeah, I've been loving it ever since. Much like JR, my dance background was not initially street. I was always like, what's it called? I was always aware of the culture. I was aware of b-boys and all the hip hop scene here, but I just never had my foot into the door necessarily. I never had the opportunity to really learn it, live it, express it. And 393 really has given me that opportunity to learn about that culture, and now here I am.
Cool, nice. And Jonel, I've been part of 393 and kind of 3 different waves. I think early 2010s, and then back at it in like 2017, 2018, on and off, and then back more involved now, just at the tail end of this year, recently. So yeah, and introduced to
Whoa, that's official.
All right, that is dope. Love it, love it. Now let's get right into that first question. Whoever wants to pop it off, go right ahead. Tell us, how were you first introduced to the culture?
I can go. Yeah.
Oh, Jen,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's
So I think growing up, I was always like exposed to hip hop just because my cousins growing up in the 90s always like threw stuff at me. Like I think the earliest album I can remember that was like hip hop, quote unquote, would have been the Blueprint 2, Jay-Z.
Okay.
Yeah, and then because my cousin would always play like 50 Cent or Jay-Z in the car and whatnot. So music-wise, I've always been exposed, but never really knew what that meant until I started dancing. And initially, when I started dancing, it was through K-pop. Oddly, just follow along, follow along. So I started with K-pop back in I think 2009, and so I first started dancing because of K-pop, and then through there I found the world of choreography. From there, found out who the choreographers were. So people like Sean Evaristo, Lau Beninga, Keone, and Mari Madrid. So a lot of prominent names within the movement lifestyle and choreo cookies. A lot of these like kind of like giants in the choreography scene.
Mhm.
But there was a certain video that I watched. It was called Urban Paradise 2010 Freestyle. And from there, I was fully exposed to what actual hip hop was: breaking, bone breaking, popping, locking, whacking. I just didn't know it at the time, but that's my first kind of encounter with it. And then it wasn't until I met Dana in university that kind of snowballed into joining 393. And then through 393, learned what hip hop truly was, and not just a genre of music and not just a genre or style of dance, but really an entire culture in of itself. So my journey, oddly enough, came from K-pop, but then now has grown to be this big love for the culture.
Just as an aside, since you've got the K-pop background, I think I'm gonna have to train with you a little bit to get my K-pop in, because like full disclosure,
Yeah.
not really like familiar with the culture at all until I watched K-pop Demon Hunter.
Oh,
There
I was waiting
There
for
it
the
is.
drop. I was like, oh.
There it is.
Movie.
And I can't front. My curiosity was like, okay, well, you know what? I think I want to see a little bit more about this K-pop thing. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's locally. I know there's like a almost like a subculture of K-pop dance now.
Yeah, and oddly enough, me and Dana run one of those groups.
Oh well, look at that.
Yeah.
There.
So,
I founded my K-pop dance team in university.
Okay.
illicit dance crew is what we're called.
Okay. What?
Yeah. So funny enough.
Since 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where my snowball started. Is Dana dragged me
I love
into
that.
illicit, and then after that, was like, "Hey, you should try out doing 393," and I haven't left since. So
Word. Okay.
Yeah. Dude, it's
Dope.
a thing. It's like every anime convention or big event, they're there. It's like, it's a real.
It's real.
It's
real.
real.
It's real.
No,
It's
it's an illusion.
physically here.
Yeah. It's
It's
a big
us.
thing. It's a big thing.
Who's next?
Yeah, you got front row.
This one. I'm going in a rotation.
I think for me, like kind of like what Jan was saying was like the music, because I remember back in the day.
Okay, oldie, let's go.
Yeah.
Back
What is
in
it?
my
I think
day.
it was the song. It was the song Sierra 1-2 Step. I was obsessed with it, and I just remember I was listening to it and dancing in my room and eating pho, and then and I was like, oh my god! And then that's how I kind of fell into dance. So I was just kind of like dancing in my room for a bit, and then I didn't officially get into like training or like into the hip hop community when I was in high school, was when I joined the after school leaders program. And that's how I met all the different like local artists and choreographers and like all the people who do all the music and stuff, because 393 offers like so many different things.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how I kind of got introduced to everything.
You know, Sierra 1-2 Step, not a bad joint to be introduction, yo. Not a bad joint at all. I mean,
Just
you know, you could do worse.
Just super side note about that song. My earliest memory of that song is my cousin had a debut. They had a modern piece. It was a hip hop piece, and one of the choreographers was a dude. but that song was for the girls, and he was just dancing in the middle of it, forgot that he wasn't supposed to be part of that formation, and he had to run across the stage to get to his to get off stage in the middle of a debut. It was really funny.
I mean,
Damn.
Yeah, good time.
For anyone who isn't aware with a debut, it's essentially it's a celebration that in Filipino culture when the daughter of the family turns 18, they're throwing this huge. Well, I mean, really, it all depends. They're throwing a party. The gravity and the lengths to which they go to with that party will depend, obviously, but it's essentially it's a coming of age party that is very ensconced in Filipino culture.
Oh yeah.
For anyone who isn't aware of what a debut is, just so you know, just for people who aren't aware.
I guess I'm next. So for me, dance has always been a part of my life. I've been dancing since I was a kid, but it wasn't always hip hop. I was into folk. So I was dancing more line dancing, whether it's Filipino, Greek, anything you name it. When I was 7, I was performing with my sister and her 2 friends. We were put on to the Filipino Journal. I was wearing pink and sequins. I did not like it, but I was there. After that, took a break from that, focused more on school, and then in junior high, I was put into, or I joined my own dance team from there, or a school dance team from there, and got more exposed to more of the studio side of hip hop, nothing more of the street side, like I explained at the beginning. And then, funny to mention, my cousin Malcolm J, who also rapped here at Studio 393. He's my cousin. I was more exposed to the music from him and all of his rapping and listening to his tracks. My auntie trying to make me do a dance to one of his tracks. I was not really educated at the time, so I couldn't, but I loved his music.
Okay.
Moved on to high school. Won a bunch of competitions in high school. Canadian National Dance Competition. Again, studio hip hop, but then it wasn't until I met these guys where another side of the dance community was exposed, and it was more of a cultural shock to me. Like there was a totally different world happening out there, outside of the other doors that I'm on the other. So that I couldn't, like, it was hard to explain because all these guys knew everyone. I'm just like, I feel weird. I felt really weird. That's when I totally felt like a studio kid. I'm like, I'm totally uncultured right now. I feel uneducated. And that's when I kind of changed my mindset to like, I kind of want to learn. I want to learn about this. I want to learn about this culture and show my friends back in high school or back in my dance team what's going on, teach it further so that the schools here or schools everywhere could actually integrate studio dance and street dance to actually show kids a different type of dance that's out there instead of just one simple product of what the whole broad word dance comes from.
Okay.
That's how I got exposed pretty much. So there's like little milestones, but yeah, that's how pretty much I got exposed to this community, and I never left it since.
Dope.
Oh gosh. Hello. For me, sorry, I was just thinking because I feel like I don't know why recently I've just been having those like thoughts where, when you look back on all the things that you've done, it's kind of crazy because for me, I also I kind of grew up in a family as well. Like music was always a thing. So like my dad growing up would play a lot of like jazz, a lot of music like that, and so I was exposed to that. And then my brother, who's currently he plays actively in bands, so a lot of it got the metal, got the rock. He was into rap a lot and hip hop too. And then when I think joined Studio 393 way back then in high school,
Back in my day.
back in my day, I actually started being immersed in the culture by learning breakdancing from Bob, which you very well know. and he was my very, very first breakdancing teacher. I think it's crazy because people like the styles that I do now. I think a lot of people wouldn't think that I break. And I don't break currently. I think, which is funny because when I say that, people are like, "Can you do like a windmill?" And I was like, "Not right now." I'm going to break something because I used to pretty much like discipline myself into breakdancing. Like when Bob left, and then Majo, who is my next breakdancing teacher, like he was trying to get me to do like windmills and like the flares and all that stuff, like the power moves. And then I started getting into more of like the hip hop dance. And so some of the teachers here at 393 that I learned from, some people from like, I think Vanessa was here, Vanessa De La Rosa, Jeff De La Rosa, obviously Jonel, a lot of CCAT people. Back then, we had a lot of different teachers. I learned from Shaq. So for me, I think it just kind of was like a natural thing because I was always like curious about not just the culture, but I think as well as the community that came with it. And I think it was really cool to learn about things like, you know, DJing, breaking, of course, MCing, and then the knowledge that came with it. So I'm really grateful to have all of this at a very low cost of free 99.
Yeah!
Nah, for real.
As an immigrant kid, as a person of color, it was kind of hard because to convince my Asian parents to put me into like extracurriculars. And so
Yeah.
this was free 99, and my
Yep.
parents were pretty happy that I was
Yep.
here all the time instead of, I don't know, doing who knows what.
On the streets.
Right.
So I've also been really fortunate to like be part of I think the movement and the culture here, but also like beyond as well. So I'm just happy to also be in a position now to like share it, because I think a lot of us now we're in like leadership positions where a lot of younger people that are coming into the scene are now learning about this, and I feel like it's been a bit better now, I want to say, with how culture and knowledge is being passed on. But obviously like there's like work to do, but I think where we're at and like who we are as people in like the dance troupe are really striving to do that. And I feel like it's a good pass off to Jonel, because I feel like he's been a big part of like why we've been really like here, and he's been our like biggest like supporter and motivator. So
Jonel!
Hey, cool. Thanks for that, Dana. Yeah, my timeline's a little bit longer because
Yup.
but yeah, same thing. Filipino background. Been around music, specifically hip hop, mostly R&B. I have two older siblings, older sister, older brother. So sister exposing me to heavy R&B artists from Aaliyah, Brandy, Monica, Tamia, all those sounds. Destiny's Child, Lauryn Hill, and then I had an older brother who would be playing like Nas, Biggie, Tupac, Big L, all these underground mixtapes.
Okay.
And, I'd just be in the back seat, freaking having the subwoofers rumble my ears. It was really cool. So I was around the music, and then of course, Marigold 7 birthdays was a thing. Definitely a thing.
Yep.
Is
Hold up. I feel like we should put some context into why we can all laugh at that comment.
Okay, so yeah, so my generation, which is a little bit older than these guys, you know, and then Filipinos coming, or even just Asians in general, the go-to place of celebrations, and for Filipinos, 7 birthdays especially, was a Chinese restaurant, Marigold, all there in the northern western part of the city. And then all the parties were there, and then you have vivid memories of having all your birthday parties there. And so
Literally every freaking party was there.
Yeah.
Yep.
and just in
Yep.
like dance culture, but the Filipino culture, like you get forced to do these dances, and so, and then me and my god siblings, who I thought are like the sickest dancers there are, we got trained by the Street Slammers to do a routine. So shout out to the Street Slammers, and
Shout out Street Slammers.
That was Street Slammers.
So free 99. I'm a student of free 99. As
Let's
well.
go. Let's go, Jonel.
So fast forward in my teenage years, my older sister, who's involved in folk rama, Magdaragat, especially Pearl of the Orient, She threw me into a dance group she was helping organize, which is called CCAT, which is a organized choreography team in the city. And so it was also free 99 for me because she helped make the group. And then I'm like, she's just like, you're gonna dance in this group. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I did that for a bit, but I've always kind of like was freestyling, dancing in the basement. And I had throughout high school years, I started befriending some homies who b-boy, and one of them happened to be the younger brother of a Dangerous Goods member, and so my generation, I viewed them as like the miniature version or younger generation of Dangerous Goods in and then it was really cool just to like be around those guys, and so being around them, and then slowly our city started introduce because I wasn't a b-boy, I couldn't b-boy, didn't have the discipline for it. I like dancing on my feet and getting attention from girls. I stuck with that, and then
Good lord.
but '09 era, rep your step. It was a concept of open styles, all styles battle in our city, where it wasn't specifically a b-boying event, which because that was kind of the biggest part of our hip hop scene in our city, but it was for like a platform where all styles or all disciplines could join, and so I joined that and kind of got exposure, and then the judges were Demisha from Defined Movement, John Surla, and Bob from Dangerous Goods. And from there, they Bob especially started hosting incorporating a lot of open styles battles with b-boy jams. And then I started to be involved heavily in those. Got introduced to 393 early stages. Didn't really understand and appreciate this hub as a whole. Stepped away from it for a little bit. Got re-involved in 2017, 2018. Still didn't understand what I was doing here.
That was with us.
Yeah, it was with them.
Us
In the
three.
beginning. And then call them the first three. And then, but the idea of like, okay, we're gonna do this a little bit different. It's not just gonna be routines anymore. Like you guys should at least learn how to freestyle, and then like be part of some jams and events, just so like you experience hip hop culture as a whole. And then since then, everything kind of took off, and now it's like their involvement in the community as a whole has taken off. They go to more events than me. They ask if I go. I'm like, I don't know.
Because he's got 2 kids.
I got 2 kids, but it's still.
Hey, come on.
I read everything, which is awesome.
We try to be.
Yo, how old are your kids?
5 and 2.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boys, girls?
One of each.
Oh, damn, look at you.
Yeah, man.
Okay, nice balance there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, see, I'm sure they understand, when you got kids that young, not as much time for, events and ting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Solid. No, that's sick. I love to hear it. I love to hear the commonalities that exist between all y'all. And I love hearing how each of you found your way to the culture, the various means and what have you. I had a quick question now for our K-poppers now. Based on what I see from K-pop, what I've seen on screen, obviously, I feel like it's a mix of, I guess, jazz dance, hip hop, and I don't know, something else. Am I off with that, or is that?
No, I feel because it's all catered to like the music that is at hand, right? Because obviously you can't dance without music, and a lot of the music is very like hip hop inspired. So a lot of times the actual companies that the either the groups or the artists would be a part of would hire or put on or get on board some like choreographers from the States or around the world who have these different styles, whether it be doing like a house dance, or they're doing like whacking, or they're doing a little bit of like like very bouncy classic hip hop, whatever it may be, and incorporate that into their movement. So it's almost like, if you remember, like how NSYNC used to be, like
Yeah.
very boy bandy, where they would kind of incorporate those elements of like hip hop dance and whatnot, but
Mhm.
it's not necessarily, yeah, that's hip hop, but it's like you
Yeah.
can see that there's that influence there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you think that the fact that K-pop dance's origins have roots in hip hop made it easier for you to look at hip hop dance, the actual hip hop dance, and say, "Oh, you know what? I think I can kind of see what groove they're on. I think I could easily, jump into doing this because I can kind of see what groove they're coming from."
Mhm. It's interesting because you were talking and then Jen was talking. I think things that I appreciate and things that I don't like about K-pop, I think having both perspectives of coming from like 393 and then having my own dance team that
Mhm.
primarily covers K-pop, although we do and have branched out a little bit into like original choreo. It's interesting because part of the discourse that I always see, and I think that's always been an issue too, I feel like in some way with hip hop, is that when people try to copy, the dance and they try to
Mhm.
like put it out as a performance and a cover, I
Mhm.
think some people have issues with like the authenticity of it.
Mhm.
Like I always hear that as part of sometimes the
Mm,
discourse.
mm,
Mhm.
While I think though at the same time, thinking about how a lot of these, we call them idols, right? And so like they kind of train to do this type of stuff. And part of the phenomenon, I guess, is that because the fans are so invested, like they want to go and learn these dances.
Yeah.
And then I think part of it too is just like having more people as well, like educating them. Because some people may not know the difference between maybe like a bounce and a rock and a groove.
Yeah.
And I think it's just if people were to be more like nicer about things, maybe it would be like, better that way. But I think it just depends. I feel like for sure some people are more attentive to details like that when they're like, oh, like look at that like skate, or like, oh my god, look at that like top rock that they did. I think it's interesting to see how recognizable hip hop's become in certain like genres, and I think with K-pop, it's definitely like helped a bit too. And then sometimes it also goes in like wacky directions. Like I've seen now there's been a lot more of like the ballroom, like the voguing
Yeah.
involved in K-pop, and that's been still is kind of like an underground like type of
Yeah.
culture as well, which
Yeah.
is funny because a lot of people compare it to hip hop because we have like a commentator, that's MC,
Yeah.
and then you have like the music, which is also like you have your DJs and everything, and so it's interesting to see those two as well, like be in the same space because a lot of people say they're very similar in some aspects of the culture.
Okay. Okay. Word.
uh,
I can get with that.
just pertaining to your question, is it's more like easy to recognize these sort of things within K-pop, and or how K-pop going to hip hop, like you can get on like that same wavelength. I think definitely. And again, just to reiterate what Dana says, it kind of depends. Like for me personally, because I looked a little deeper than just the idol that I was like watching. I wanted to know who the choreographer was. I wanted to know what other things had they had going on.
Mhm.
And I think it takes a certain kind of person to one uh, be obsessed enough to kind of like look in deeper, but to appreciate the art that they're actually putting out.
Yeah.
And so for myself, I wanted to be more than just a fanatic of the one thing, but I wanted to see how deep does that rabbit hole go, and then from there I found hip hop, and from there, which is a rabbit hole in all of itself, obviously,
Yeah.
but I love it. So I think for what you were asking, yes, you can find the parallels. You can find that same wave, like you can find those same grooves, but it has to take a little more effort than just, oh, hey, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Say word. That's dope. Let me ask you this. We have somewhat of a multi-generational crew here. I have a little bit of experience with multi-generational crews. When the Midnight Breakers were, when we were doing our thing and repping for Winnipeg, we were multi-generational. We were composed of OGs from the original Midnight Breakers from the 80s and the new gen, which was like us. And when they were breaking back in the 80s, they weren't necessarily breaking because they had a love of hip hop. They were breaking because breaking was this new, crazy pop, phenomenon that blew up in North America and then eventually the world. And getting caught up in it, in the middle of Winnipeg, Canada, I mean, really not that far fetched. So they weren't so much into it because of the culture. The new generation, us, we're coming from the culture. You know what I'm saying? So we were looking at it as, this is our contribution to the culture. This is why we're doing this. You know what I mean? And so that generational divide sometimes made decision making difficult. If I'm going to put it like completely, plainly, and I'm sure we could all sit in a room and laugh about it now because, truthfully, there was a bit of a generational divide where one side was very much about the culture. This is why we're doing this. We don't, it'd be dope to get paid, but if we don't get paid, we're not losing any sleep over it because what we're doing is trying to expose the culture and bring more people into it. Right. But then like the older generation, they came from, being accustomed to being paid, which is great. Like to be paid to do hip hop dance in the 80s, like, okay, like, fuck yeah, salute. But, so you got two different aims. So I've just got to ask, when you've got, a multi-generational crew, are there ever any situations where you found yourselves, kind of looking at it from two different lenses and maybe not quite seeing through the exact same lens, and how you overcame it?
Yeah.
You good? Wrong hole?
I don't know.
You are
Try. I don't know. I don't think so. Like these guys have been super cool. Like, sorry. Yeah, no. Like, I even stepped away for a little bit to give them space to do their own thing.
Are you
I feel like I'm gonna cry right now. But no, like, I don't think we've ever like. I'm pretty open with them, and we make like decisions as a whole. Decisions as a whole. And I'm always asking for feedback, and then they have ideas. I'll just say like, "Yo, go for it." Like these guys, I just threw out a seed like, "Yo, would it be cool to throw like a jam?" And then like these three made a jam, a jam on their own. And they're like, "Yo, Jonel, what do you think about this?" I'm like, "Fuck, yo, that's." I wanted to do that shit. And, that's cool. And then and this guy now, he's doing a jam as a fundraiser to support the big jam.
Small jam, big
Small jam, big jam.
But I think I've always like stressed like ideas and like just being ways to what do you call it? Just coughing, try it. That's right. Just be involved in the community. Like, your involvement in the community is more bigger than just like performing or doing a gig or winning a battle. Like bringing in the next generation. Like you don't realize your presence out in the community is just as important as like, just dancing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You guys talk. You know what?
You mind, Taylor?
Yeah, just to build on what Jonel said, I really think that like as a whole, guys, come on. As a whole, we kind of are united in this vision of like wanting to expand the community, wanting to get more youth involved within the community, whether it's simply just putting on more classes, going to events, traveling for events, trying to make new connections. We're always talking like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to do this? It's cool to do that. And obviously, not every idea goes through, right? Just how human nature is. But for the most part, all of our ideas are kind of in the same ballpark of things. And really, I think it's due to the vision and leadership of these four, really, because the rest of us kind of just like follow their lead, and it's really these four here that kind of pushed, hey, we want to do this, and then kind of the rest of us kind of just follow.
Okay, dope. Now, the next question I'm going to ask you, I don't know how long it can take you to answer this, but I really want to know why you do what you do. Why does why does why does 393 Dance Troupe exist?
Why? We all preface saying he's gonna ask us
Why?
why.
Okay, sorry, we didn't get to hear that half of the question, but can you repeat that a little bit because
No
we all
problem.
started laughing.
Obviously, you anticipated the question.
To why we do this?
Yes. Why do you do this? Why do you work with the team that you have right now in 393? Why do you do what you do?
Well, first, I know it's because we love what we do. We love the art that we portray. Whether it's paid or not, we still like to do what we do. I know some of us like to use dance as an emotional outlet. You know, when things get stressed, we use that. We use dance as a way to get our feelings out, for us to process what's been going on, so that we can think more clearly. And also, it during those times of stress, the most amazing creative ways of making choreos, like choreo sets, actually come to light. So, like for me, from my like, I can speak for myself when I say I use dance as an emotional outlet for sure.
Okay.
It also helps me with my creative side, help me think outside the box for my daily living stuff. I know, I think as a group, we want more people to be part of the culture. We want to see another generation come by. Like the three of us, we're already a generation, but we're looking to see the next generation take the torch from us. Let us teach you guys what we can do, and then you can teach that further into the future, so that this culture does not die. This culture will keep going when we're buried 6 feet in the ground, whether we're incinerated. Like this
Wow,
will
dark.
keep going. I'm just saying, if you want whatever.
Damn! Just dark.
Buried in the ground, 6 feet under.
I mean,
Incinerated.
Damn.
if you want to be incinerated, or if you want to be like 6 feet in the ground, that's up to you. But what I'm saying is, what we leave here after we go into the afterlife, whether you believe that or not, will transpire into different generations into the future. And that's because we learned from him, we taught them, and they're going to keep going. That's why I think that's why we do what we do, is so education, emotional stability, to have more of an open mind. I mean, that's what I do. And like, I mean, I like to teach the younger generation, like, hey, you know, like studio isn't always the best way to go. Sometimes there's a different route, and sometimes those kids need that kind of push. At least for me, the way I look at stuff. I don't know about these 3, 4, but like, yeah, that's how I look at it. I don't know about you guys. Nikki?
What he said.
What the?
No.
You think you're getting off that easy now?
I don't know. That's a deep question. I honestly don't think I'd be able to live without dance. Dance is life. I literally love dance. And the fact that I can be, you know, like part of 393 and being able to like explore the community and give back to the community. And even when like I get asked to judge, I still be like, oh my God, what? Really? And then when people come up and they ask me for feedback, I'm like, oh my God, I barely even know what I'm doing. Like, how am I supposed to let you know, like give you feedback? It's like such an honor. And then, you know, to be in that position and then to be like where I am with everyone else. Like, I remember when I first started back in the day, I keep saying that like I'm so old, but like I remember when I first started, I was like first started in freestyling, I was like not about it. I would go to battles and watch, but I would never like actually enter a battle because I'd be like, oh, I'm not
Yes.
ready.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm not ready. I don't think I can do it because it's scary and it's intimidating. And then like eventually, like my mentors like Callie and Jonel kept pushing me to enter, and I finally did it. And now here I am, like almost in every battle.
Yeah.
There you
And
go.
Yeah.
how many again? 2 or 1? You won 1, right?
3.
You won 3? Was it
You know,
three?
we're not naming numbers, man.
He like does not count.
Yo, I think Mickey can speak for all of us with something she had said. When you said dance is life, yo, I know that resonates with everyone.
Oh yeah.
I know that resonates. Okay, that like no truer words can be said.
Mhm.
Yeah, like through all the broken bones and us getting sick. It don't matter if you're sick. Put on a mask, you get on dance floor, and you let it out. That's the best way to get better. We don't need Vicks. We don't need Tylenol. We don't need Advil. You know, we just need music and a dance floor, and then we're good.
There you go. There you go. Yo, there was mention of putting on jams. I feel like y'all aren't quite finished with putting on jams.
No, we just started.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. What's planned? What's in the woodworks here?
Our first battle
Yeah, like the one you guys organized. What
2
was
years ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah,
Style
because Style Fusion.
Style
yeah.
Fusion itself, Volume 1. And then we just did Style Fusion Volume 2 this year.
Yeah.
But we did a
2025.
Pokemon theme. And then now we're working on Style Fusion Volume 3
Okay.
here.
Mm-hmm. And then because I'm inspired by these folk, and I wanted to help fundraise for this specific battle because we want to try to make it as big as possible,
Mhm.
and do some stuff that Winnipeg hasn't seen in a minute. I wanted to throw my own battle because I have a bunch of ideas. So I'm putting on. We're gonna call it 393 presents the warm up. The warm up for 3 different reasons. Because we're gonna have the 393 theme running through. So three reasons. One, it's in the middle of January, so it's gonna be cold, so we want to warm up. Duh.
That's what I said.
2, it's going to be the first battle of the year, so we're warming up to get our bodies ready for the rest of the other battles and all the other jams that are going to be happening throughout the year. And then 3, it is the warm up to Style Fusion Volume 3. So yes, the warm up. I'm soft launching this right now. It's going to be
Okay.
on January.
You're hearing it here first.
You're hearing it live first here.
Yo, that's sick.
Yeah, so it's going to be happening Winnipeg, January 17th, I do believe, at the Graffiti Arts Gallery.
Hey.
So if you are in the area, please show up, be there, support, and all the funds and proceeds that will be accumulated over that afternoon are all going to go towards Style Fusion Volume 3 so we can throw the best possible battle
Sick.
with the very limited amount of funds that we have.
Sick. No, that's dope. I love that you're throwing a battle to fundraise for a battle. That's fucking dope. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, and that's January 17th?
January is wait, I have to double check. I have to make
Yes,
sure that
yes, it is.
the 17th, 17th, 17th.
The warm up?
No,
We all
I
said
forgot it
yes.
because I'm nervous.
We all said yes.
Yes, January 17th.
2026.
Solid. Okay, well, yo, make sure you come back so we can help promote that jam.
Hey!
For real. Nah, for real. Make sure you come back so you can help promote that jam.
Yeah, damn right. Let's go.
There you
Sick.
go. Okay. Dope. Yo, I knew this was going to be a dope conversation. We could honestly go on for much longer because if you know anything about, folks who dance, yeah, we can talk about dance forever.
That's for damn. That's for damn sure.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like we could go on forever. But I want to thank you for taking the time out to spend time with us in the lounge space. Want to let you know that love what we're seeing with 393 Dance Troupe. I love especially a lot of what I've heard here this evening. A lot of what I've heard, I feel good knowing that your heads are on your shoulders. You know what I'm saying? I feel good seeing that you guys are doing this for the right reasons. And that might sound OG, but I mean, I just got to be real. It makes me feel good to see you guys are doing this for the right reasons, that your heads are in the right headspace for why you're doing this. So I commend you all for that. Salute all day.
Thank you.
And obviously, if it's not, if it's not already playing, anytime you have something to promote, anything 393 related, come back on. Let's help you get the word out. You know what I'm saying? We got like really, we got decent, we got a decent audience mix where, yeah, sure, locals watch, but when you come on the Lounge Presents, guaranteed there's more eyes on you than you realize outside of Winnipeg. So when you're doing Ting and Ting, we want to get you on so those same eyes can see how consistent y'all are being with what you're doing. Okay?
Wait.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Solid. Thank you very much again. And until we get you back in lounge space, 393 Dance Troupe up in this motherfucker.